Today is label design day. In yesterday's episode, we made this tub of protein right here. And now we're going to make a label which we're going to wrap around this so it looks like a tub of protein, right? If you haven't seen yesterday's episode, if you're a beginner, this is going to make a whole lot more sense to you. I recommend you go check that out. And I'm going to teach you a very simple, free way that you can design product labels, which you can use for pretty much any product visualization purposes ever. So now, on top of your 3D modeling services, you can also provide label design services and make some money off of that as well. Isn't that fucking great? Okay. So check this out. We put this together really quickly yesterday. If you're not a beginner, you can do this in probably like 3 minutes. Okay. And now we're going to go online and you're going to type in Canva. Some of you know what Canva is. It's a free program for graphic design. Okay. Click on this first link right here. You're going to have to spend 13 seconds making a profile, but it's totally free. Once you do this, you can create all kinds of stuff, okay? Click on create a design right here, okay? You can pick one of the templates. I'm going to go with custom size. Width is going to be 2048. Height is going to be, or the width is going to be 4096 because I want lots of pixels. I want this to be nice and cute and smooth. Height is going to be 2048. Create a new design, all right? And now we can basically just start adding shit into this canvas to make it look like a protein powder label, right? You're free to do whatever you want. It's kind of difficult to make a tutorial about this because I find it hard to imagine that somebody cannot figure out how to use this to create labels. Because when I opened this up for the first time, I didn't need a tutorial. You just figure out, okay, you can take shapes and you can load up images and stuff like that. You just put it together. It's kind of like playing with Legos, right? You can't possibly screw this up, all right? But in any case, I'm going to show you a little bit of my workflow so you can get a little bit of inspiration for how to do this. I'm going to show you a label that I've put together in Canva, okay? I've built this label right here and we're gonna work in this general direction. We're going to put something together. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because the whole thing takes like an hour to do and I don't want to sit here for 2 hours. I got to hit the gym. I got shit to do, right? But I'm going to show you roughly how I put together some of these elements and you're going to figure out that it's all basically the same thing once you understand some of these very basic things, okay? So the first thing you want to do, in this case, is add a top bar and a bottom bar, since we're doing strawberries, okay? So we're gonna go over here, you can just type in rectangle, okay? Add this shape right here, and go up here to color, and now you can change the color. You can pick some of the existing colors, or you can just make your own color up here, okay? It's the same as in Blender. Put this into the corner, somewhere around here, okay? And now you're gonna stretch this out, up to around this point somewhere. Now right click on this. Normally when you right click on it, it gives you a little menu inside of Canva, right? Like this. I had to refresh it. Right click, duplicate, and you're gonna place this one down here to the bottom, okay? Now here's the next thing we want to do because I want a gradient. I want this to look cute, okay? I'm gonna go to elements. I'm gonna add a new square, a new rectangle. Open up this color thing right here, okay? And then when you open this red color, you're gonna have this code right here. So Control A, copy that code. And now you're gonna scroll down here where you got some gradients, and I want a little bit of a gradient because I don't want this to be a sharp edge. So now you can see this is red and orange. Let's rotate that 90 degrees. But I don't want orange. I want this to transition into white, but I don't only want this to be white. I want the bottom part to be transparent so I can put elements behind it. If I want to add a texture or something like that, I can place it behind this and it's going to be revealed by this gradient, right? So I'm gonna go over here now that I have this gradient, go to color, and you can now control the two colors separately. So the first one is going to be this exact shade of red, which we created a second ago. And this orange one, we're gonna open up and just slide this opacity slider all the way down. So now you have white. If you zoom in over here, you might see a little bit of a border, okay? You can see that there's like a pixel of space. So we're gonna select this and just press the up arrow to move it up a little bit. Then we're gonna compress it a little bit. You can zoom out with control, right click, or no, control, scroll down. And we're gonna extend this all the way out to the other side. Now we have a little bit of gradient. So now you can basically start adding whatever you want into this scene. Now there's a couple of main things that we have to do. We have to first name the product, okay? Whey protein, supreme quality or something like that. Then we have to make a little logo, which I'm also gonna show you how to do because there's a tool for that inside of Canva. And then you're gonna have to put together some supplement facts, okay? You know, when you look at a product of any sort, you look at, I don't know, you look at your, I don't know, pack of cheese or beer, and it says on the back how many calories it has, how much protein it has, how many carbs it has, how much sugar it has. This is a very important part of protein powder, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do that as well. and also some pictures and all this, okay? So first, give me a text box. Add a text box. Let's name this way. Give me big way letters, okay? Hold down Alt and use this little arrow to scale this up. Select everything. Let's change the fonts to something a little bit nicer. I don't know, you can try a couple of them. I don't know what's gonna work best for you. You can just look for something that you think looks reasonably good, all right? Let's try this Poppins thing right here. Let's make that bold, and we're also going to select this and make it italic because I think that looks nice. Maybe we're going to make a metallic map to make certain parts of this metallic. That's gonna look pretty nice as well. We're gonna place this somewhere in the middle like this, okay? And now we're going to duplicate this text box, place it on top here, and then on the second one, so on the one above, we're gonna type in, like, I don't know, something to make this look a little bit more impressive, like supreme quality, okay? So Alt right click, we're gonna scale this down, place it right on top here. You want to align that as closely as you can. Again, I don't want to spend too much time on these little details. You understand how this works, so you can do most of this stuff yourself. I just roughly want to show you how this works, and you're gonna be able to figure out the rest for yourself. Now, we're also gonna copy this one more time, and we're gonna not type in, we're gonna name this something like superior or prime nutrition, whatever, right? I'm just coming up with random stuff. If you're working for a client, you're not gonna have to do any of this because they're gonna send you the label. So right now I'm just coming up with something just to teach you guys how this stuff works, okay? Prime nutrition, this is not going to be bold, okay? And we're gonna duplicate it, and the second one is going to have a red color, okay? Which means we're also gonna have to move all of this down below the gradient so this doesn't collide with the red color above. And now we can also make all this a lot larger. In fact, I'm going to make this one a little bit larger. This one is going to be called, we can name our company something like, I don't know, Gains. Gains. I named it Daily Gains on the previous tutorial that I made with this object right here. Daily Gains, okay? Every day you're making some fucking gains. Place that right there, okay? You can make this bold if you want to. And this is where we're going to fit a little logo. I think it's gonna look a lot nicer if we align these two over here. But anyway, it doesn't have to be exact. Now we're gonna make a little logo. Here's how you make logos, okay? You're going to go over here to the side, and you're gonna type in logo, and you can find all sorts of templates here. I think probably you have to go over here to brands, like projects or apps. You can go to apps and then type in logo maker. Let's try that one. You know what it is, you have a separate file over here on the side. I totally forgot about this. Create a design, and here you can click on logo, right? This is where you do it. This is where you got your logo editor, all right? Control click on this so to open it up in a new tab, and now you have some special tools for logo. You can use some templates and all this, so now you can decide what you think looks cute, okay? This looks absolutely beautiful, but I think you gotta pay for Canva to use this one. You can do it if you want to, you don't have to do it. Let's try something like, what about this one right here? Okay, this looks beautiful. And now you can just control these elements. They already put together some pictures and stuff like that here. You can just control them using the same controls that you have for everything else. For example, you can take this image in the middle, you can change the color to red, or you can make these two colors red and white, perhaps, or something like that. These are both going to be red and this is going to be white, okay, something like this. And then the text, of course, has to be red as well. And you're just going to play around with this a little bit until you figure out something that works pretty well for you. So now, replace the text with daily up here and daily gains down here. Okay, that's the name of our company. Here you can write whatever you want. I don't want to do anything else. Now you can select everything and press Control C, and with Control V you can paste it into this scene right here. Now I recommend that when you have all these selected, you click on Group, so that way you can control them all together. You don't have to select them all and accidentally select something else, right? You can ungroup it and work on the individual elements if you want to. And now you can just place this into this corner over here or something like that, okay? Now we're gonna duplicate this once, right click, duplicate the whole thing. And then this one over here is going to be a simpler version of the logo. For example, this one here, we're going to ungroup it, and I only want the little picture from the middle. I don't want this other stuff, okay? I don't want any of this on the picture which is next to the text, all right? So I'm gonna delete everything and just place this one over here, all right? Perhaps we can change the color with the one that we have here. And this is going to be the full version, right? This is going to be the one over here on the side. I don't know why. I saw this design somewhere and I just tried to rip it off a little bit. But this is like what protein companies do, I guess. There's not really much logic to it. They just throw a bunch of elements in there and people buy it. It doesn't really matter. I mean, do you care about what the fucking label looks like on your favorite cheese? No, you don't, right? So now that we have this, we're gonna add some more elements down here where you're gonna write some more info. For example, elements, you're gonna type in line, okay? You type in line, and now we added a line. There you go. We're gonna place that down here. Use this and bring it a little bit closer, and you can also make this line a little bit thicker like this. Duplicate it, bring it down here, and in between these two lines you're gonna write some more text. Okay, for example, we're gonna type in something to sell it. Right, we're gonna type in delicious. Delicious. It's very hard to pronounce a word as you're writing it. For me, maybe I'm dyslexic or something, who knows. Delicious. We're gonna make this bold, and we're gonna change the color to the same red that we have everywhere else, which is going to be this one right here. I think we swapped out the colors, whatever. Place that right there. Delicious, and we're gonna add some more text, which is going to be gray, and this is gonna be called Ultra Supreme Quality Protein, like this, right? Just to make it sound extra. This one's gonna be a little bit smaller, like this. And if we wanted to cover more space, one thing we can do is go up here to text options, and you can increase the letter spacing to make this longer. All right, and we're also gonna make the whole thing a little bit bigger, right, like this. And this can be bold, and we're going to make it light gray, okay? So change the color to, I don't know, whatever. Change this to like a light gray. Duplicate it one more time, and below this you're going to type in something like, I'm copying off of the one that I have from before, rich in nutrients, digestive enzymes, and filling, I don't know what that says, it's hidden behind my strawberry, filling something, whatever. We're gonna cover this with a strawberry anyway, it doesn't matter. You guys can come up with something based on another design. Filling, whatever, digestive enzymes, and that's it. I don't need anything else. It doesn't fucking matter. I concern myself with these details a little bit more than I should, but if you're doing this for a portfolio especially, no one's gonna look at this stuff. You can probably even if you're selling products, you can get away with a whole bunch of shit like this. It doesn't really matter because nobody pays attention to it. So now that we have this, okay, you want to add a whole bunch of other elements. For example, you're going to add a little square. Okay, elements, we're going to add a rectangle, and this rectangle is going to be white, but it's going to have a black border like this, okay? And this is going to be really small, so we have to make this a little bit smaller as well. Lift it up to here, and this is going to be like a tick box, which is going to indicate what's inside this product. Okay, so we're going to zoom in here, reduce the border weight to something like this. Let's call this, I don't know, 80. Try to make it whatever, that's good enough, okay? Something like this, and then we're going to add a check mark, all right? Most of them are paid, but you can definitely find one which is for free, like this one right here. There we go, there's a free green check mark, but I'm gonna make it black because I think green looks stupid. We're gonna place that right here, scale it down so it's small enough, change the color to black, place that on the inside like this so you can make it stick out a little bit. And now just add another text box and write something like delicious, clean, easy mixing formula. Mixing formula. I don't know who comes up with this stuff. I don't know who reads it, but whatever. It's there, okay? Something like this. And now you want to duplicate this 3 times or copy it 2 more times. So copy this once, right? Then you have another one, then copy it again. You got one more, okay? You can make all this a little bit smaller. You're gonna change up the text, of course. I'm gonna do this off screen. I don't want to waste your time changing up text. You understand what's supposed to happen here. Then you can also type in something like 5 grams of whatever over here, 25 grams of something else. For example, 25 grams of protein. Okay. Protein, and this is of course supposed to be a very small text box down here. These little details are very important, okay? This is what makes your project look a lot more complete. Now duplicate this and paste it over here. Type in BCAA. I don't even know what those are. I've been hitting the gym for 10 years. I don't know what this shit means. I don't care. Just eat fucking eggs and drink milk. You'll be all right. And eat meat. Don't be a vegan. And now you're gonna go to the internet and you're gonna get some graphics, okay? Because there's two more very important things that you have to take care of here. Like I said, the supplement facts, okay, the nutrition facts, and we also want to put some strawberries on here. Now I'm not gonna make strawberries in Canva. I'm gonna go on my second screen and do the Googling, because you know when you do the Googling, it shows your history, which is somebody's gonna use to dox me and shoot me in the head, okay? So on my second screen, I'm going to type in, I'll show you, strawberry PNG, okay? I'm gonna type in strawberry PNG, and I'll go to images, and now just find something that looks cute, okay? Here's how you find something that has a transparent background. When you type this in with PNG means image with a transparent background with an alpha layer, it looks like it has a white background in the preview, but when you click on it, okay, it has this little checker, gray and white pattern in the background. That's how you know it's transparent. So now, right click, copy image, get rid of this, and now go back to Canva and zoom out a little bit, Control V, and you see this is a transparent image. So now this is, you can see through the background. And now we're gonna adjust the size and all this. We can cut it off a little bit using this bar down here. We can also cut it off on the side. This is where we're gonna put the nutrient label. Right click, layer, we're going to send this backwards, okay? Send backwards, right click one more time, send backwards. Now it's behind all the other elements. I also want to put it behind the way text. Layer, bring backwards. As you can see, this stuff is really simple, but it can be pretty tedious work. Like you have to focus on the details very closely, just like in 3D modeling, okay? So for example, right now, you can't really read this, like this is getting in the way of some of the text. So what you might want to do is use another rectangle, okay? Add this thing right here, add a white rectangle, place it behind this text, and stretch it out. And now it's on top of the strawberry, but it's behind the text. So now you can see the text a little bit more clearly. Of course, you want to adjust this very carefully so you don't see any of this, any of these edges over here, which you can see right now. And now that you have the picture, now you just need a couple of more tiny details. So here's what you're gonna do now. Okay, go back to Google. You're going to type in something along the lines of supplement facts, okay? Because when you type in supplement facts, it's going to give you something like this. So now you can pick out one of these. By the way, you can also put this stuff together in Canva, or if you really want to be cool, you can go online and Google and type in nutritional facts chart designer, nutritional facts label designer, or something like that. There's certainly lots of tools which you can use to produce this stuff totally for free, okay? So you're gonna take something like this one right here. I don't know if this makes any sense for the protein powder. I'm just gonna use the first one I find, which seems to make sense to me, okay? Let's do this one right here. This is definitely not protein powder, but whatever. And then we're gonna go back to Canva and Control V to paste it in here. Put it on the side next to the strawberry. Scale it down a little bit, okay? You can make it bigger if you want to. It doesn't have to be that small. And now we're going to duplicate this and also bring one to the other side. Now normally there's just two labels, I think, because on the other design I have two labels because that it looks a lot nicer. The other one's probably supposed to be something else, like I don't know, ingredients or something like that. You know how when you look at a product that tells you all the ingredients, like I don't know, whatever. But this is pretty much gonna do it, okay? And now it's up to you what else you want to do. For example, I want to have a little tape around the top, where I'm going to add another line like this, okay? Click to add a line, place that up here, and this line is going to be white, okay? Let's make it a little bit thicker. Place it up here, very close to the top, like this, and then duplicate it. And this is going to be a very beautiful effect for your product label, okay? We're going to add a new text box where we're going to write, it's right here, we're going to write daily gains, superior nutrition, minus supreme quality whey protein powder. You want lots of text here. Lots of text so you can wrap all the way around the bottom. Okay, of course you're going to make this white. We're going to make it italic. And we're going to make this a lot larger by placing it in this corner and then taking this little button right here and just extending it like this. We want it to go almost all the way around like this, right? So this looks pretty good. You can make this bold if you want to. You can also make you can make this bigger if you bring the text closer together. So if you select everything and go up here to letter spacing and reduce that, now you have more space to scale it up because the letters are still the same size, but they're closer together, right? Now, I showed you pretty much every trick in the book. You understand how labels can be put together. If you want to add anything else that you see on another label somewhere online, you now know how to do that, okay? We don't have to do this anymore. I'll probably add some more details offline, like a little bit of text down here, maybe a couple more elements and a couple more pieces of information. Maybe I'll replace the charts, maybe some more text under this line. That's a different story, okay? Now we're gonna take this label, we're gonna download it, and we're gonna wrap it around that protein tub inside of Blender. Here's how you do that. It's a little bit counterintuitive, perhaps, okay? We should probably lower this down because in Blender, because this image is a little bit longer than the height of our bottle in Blender. Anyway, we'll fix that later. Now, go up here to File, click on Download, and click on Download again. That's gonna download this onto your computer. Now it's gonna be in your Downloads folder. So now, if you open up your file browser, you go to Downloads, okay? You can go to Blender, and in Blender, here's how you wrap this texture onto your top. You're gonna go to the shading workspace. I don't know why on earth, by default, it doesn't give you material preview in the shading workspace. Who the fuck works with materials when you're not in the material preview up here, right? Why? Anyway, so now you're gonna add a new material. You don't have to change anything here with the base color. You're simply going to drag and drop your downloaded item over here, okay? Drag and drop the image from your downloads folder like this, okay? Plug this in the base color, and guess what? Right off the bat, it looks like shit. We have to fix it up, okay? Here's how you fix this up properly. Well, first of all, we gotta reduce the roughness, because this has to be shiny, of course, okay? It's plastic. And now there's a very specific trick that you have to use for wrapping up textures around not only cylindrical objects, but cylindrical objects which have different widths like this, because this stuff is very difficult to UV unwrap, okay? But there's another tool that you can use inside of Blender, which in my opinion has lots of flaws, but it works, okay? You're gonna go up here to Edit Preferences, Add-ons, search for Node Wrangler, and check this box right here, okay? That's going to give you a very special hidden tool, which can be activated by selecting this texture and pressing Ctrl-T, all right? When you press Ctrl-T with an image texture node selected, it attaches these two new nodes onto your image texture node, which you can use for controlling how the texture is displayed on the object, right? So now, we're going to go to Object here. So instead of UV, you're going to plug Object into Vector like this. And then instead of Flat here, you're going to change this projection to Tube, okay? And when you change this to Tube, you can see that it kind of projects it in a circular way. It's getting us a little bit closer to where we want to be, but we have to adjust the scale of this image, okay? Because right now it's just compressed. So we're gonna go to Z-axis and reduce this number to something that makes sense in this situation. 0.45 is probably going to make sense. And then on top of that, we also have to adjust the location on the Z-axis like this. I'm holding down Shift so it would be a little bit more smooth. As you can see, we got lots of problems up here because up here, this is compressed differently. We have some very odd issues up here. So maybe if we change this to generated instead of object, then it's going to work a little bit better. So now we once again have to adjust the position on the Z-axis. We have to adjust the scale one more time. And now that seems like it's going to work a lot better, okay? So the scale is gonna have to be something like 0.8. And then the location is gonna have to be such that this white text is up here at the top. Now, I'm gonna go back to Canva and reiterate because I want to make this part a little bit thinner. I don't want it to cover up such a large part of the box. I also want to have some more details down here. For example, a little bit more text, but as you can see, this looks pretty damn cute, okay? This is about as nice as your bottle is going to get. I'm not gonna show you all these upgrades that I'm going to make because you already understand. No one's gonna watch the rest of the fucking video anyway, okay? But that's how you make labels, okay? Please let me know in the comments the answer to the following question. Now that you've seen this, is there any label which you cannot really design, okay? I mean, unless it's some super sophisticated shit, but for the most part, you can look all around you now. I don't know, I got some Powerade, I got some water, I got some, I don't know, I even got this bottle of perfume if anybody wants to know what Aryan smells like, okay? And you can design textures for all these objects with just Canva. You don't need anything else. Okay, look, take your fucking... Right? when you think about it, almost anything can be designed with some of the basic tools here. Okay, there's some more sophisticated text patterns. Okay, you go to Photoshop a little bit and maybe you put together a special effect, export that into Canva, put it together with other elements, make the chart in the back, boom, problem solved, right? So now you can design pretty much any label known to man. Okay, so I encourage you to go explore a little bit, go online, try to copy your own, try to make your own. This is what I'm going to use for the animation. You can make something else, you can make anything else. You just learned something today that puts you ahead of most 3D artists, because most 3D artists operate under the delusion that if you can do 3D modeling, you deserve a high-paying job. That's not how it works, okay? If you're looking for clients, you want to have as many things as possible that you can offer them, all kinds of services. That way, they can also recommend you to others, and you're going to be able to navigate your way through the marketplace and be a much more useful human being overall, okay? That's a general principle you can stick to in life, and life is going to be much better. That's episode number 2. Tomorrow, I'm going to see you in episode number 3.